Hello, and welcome back to Gen T, where we talk about different topics based on our generation. I'm Miss B, representing Generation X.
And I'm Cookie, and I represent the millennials. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you comment, make sure it's positive because we're all about the good vibes here.
So today our topic is tradition, and we're gonna go with kick rock. Because tradition means coming from the old to the new. It'll be the traditions that I have been following or either heard about in the culture. And we're going to see if the millennial following tradition or decide, no, kick rock with that one. So the first one I have is cleaning everything, including washing clothes, so there's no dirty clothes before the new year come in. Everything has to be clean, windows, floors, clothes washed, folded, and put away before the new year. I don't know. We had to say that if you start the new year off with a dirty house, you're going to have a dirty house all year long. And so, tradition we used to make sure everything was clean before the new year comes in. So, what do you say, Cookie?
I actually remember this tradition. I remember coming up to New Year's, you would have me cleaning and be really serious about cleaning. And I'll be honest, I really try. Every year when it gets close to New Year's, I get this panic and I'm like, if I don't clean, my house is going to be dirty for the whole year. And I try to clean and it never happens. But I will say, the first week in January, I'm still cleaning. I try. So
Okay.
maybe not. I will keep it, but maybe not New Year's like New Year's ish.
I like the ish. Okay. Now, another tradition is uh, this one's kind of a cultural Southern thing, and that is making the traditional New Year's Day meal. Basically, you have to have collard greens, black eyed peas and rice, and some kind of pork for your meat. What do you say?
This is another tradition. I know there's a lot more things that you're supposed to eat for the meal. I just remember every year you telling me to make sure I eat greens because we needed money. Make sure I eat the black eyed peas because we needed luck. And fried chicken, I don't remember pork. I remember fried chicken. And I don't remember why, but those were the three things that I remember you telling me. So it has gone down to like when it's New Year's, and I do try to make the meals, and you know I can't cook. I will just have greens, the black eyed peas, and chicken. I don't usually make rice or anything else. It's just those three things. So I'll keep that one.
Well, I must say that the chicken, I think, is something we just made because we like chicken. We always had the pork meat on the side, which isn't something that we were so into. So we only ate like a little bit of the pork meat just to go with the tradition. But the chicken was our actual meat for the meal.
I forgot
And
about the
then
pork.
another thing is recently, I would say maybe like a month ago, I was inside a grocery store and uh, I don't know, this young lady started a conversation and she was saying She just found out that her aunties for years have been using the black eyed peas out the can. And that's a shortcut to making that black eyed peas and rice. And
Wait a minute, wait a
I'm
minute.
like, wait
Is that
a
wrong?
minute.
Because that's exactly what I do.
No, that ain't wrong. It's just the fact that, um, since mom's gone, and we've been struggling to try to duplicate, her black eyed peas and rice. Like, maybe we shouldn't struggle. Maybe we can try the shortcut next next year, next time,
My
and
greens come out the
get that
can.
can. And she was like, just add your seasoning, and you'll meet just like you would have with the thing. And then it don't even take us long because all you do
Yeah.
is the can. So yeah, uh, I guess we will probably keep that one for a while. The next one is, for a while I tried to keep it going, where birthdays, we did our electric slide dance.
Oh, yeah. I
That wasn't
remember
something that
that.
was passed on. It was just something that I started when you were little, and we almost did it till you were, what, 21 or something.
Yeah. I would definitely keep that. I have really good memories of us doing those random dances, and not just the electric slide. Didn't I have like a Kids Bop tape that had the Bootin' Scootin' Boogie and some other line dance on it? And we used to try all of them.
Okay, so the next one I would bring up is Easter Sunday sunrise service.
Oh no.
And I can remember all of those Easter mornings, getting up, what, like 5:30 in the morning.
Mhm.
So we had to be to the church by 6:30 for a sunrise service. Sometimes it seemed like it was even earlier. I don't know, but
Mhm.
it's still a tradition with some churches. Some have already fallen off, and especially after COVID, um, with people coming back to the church.
Yeah.
So, what you think?
Um, I'm not a morning person, but I do remember waking up for sunrise service, and didn't they have food, breakfast? Didn't they serve like a really good breakfast?
Yeah, yes, Sister Y used to always give us that good old, oh gosh, and
Good.
cousin
Yeah.
A.
I have fond memories of it. I don't have any place here, where I live that I know that does that, but back at home, um, if I was there, I'd definitely wake up and go for nostalgia, if anything. So, how about keep, but only when I'm at home?
Okay, I'll take that. All right, now the next one is the Saturday morning adventure drives.
Ooh.
That was kind of a thing that I started myself again. That wasn't something that my mom ever did or anything, but I used to get you up on Saturday morning sometimes, and you just get in the car and just go.
I remember that. I remember those trips really fondly. My favorite trip or my favorite memory um on those trips is you let me know why. You let me tie a string to my some of my toys that I brought, and you let me put it out the window. Do you remember that? And that's the best. That's like my fondest memory. Being able to hang my toys out the window. Don't know why.
And drag it down the road.
Just drag it, wheel it back in. Some came back, some didn't, and I was fine with it. Um, I so that's a really fond memory, but I will say gas is too high to just be
True.
taking trips nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe a smaller scale. I do the smaller scale with my son. I'll do just get in the car and we'll ride somewhere in town and it'll be kind of a surprise for him, but it'll be someplace I know we'll have fun. So it's kind of still like a little adventure, but definitely a little different. But gas is just too much to just go to a different state like we used to.
Completely understand that one. Definitely. But one thing I must say to um, the people that are listening is there is an app called Upside app. Oh my gosh. It really works. You really do get free money. I mean, you got to buy the gas anyway. So it is fabulous and I love it. And I've used the app to, I do mine in increments. So every time I get 25 up to $25, I take that $25 out and I use that $25 towards somebody gift.
That is neat.
So just just putting it out there, Upside app. The next one is also another southern thing. Yes, we're in the south south region of the country. If you can't hear it in my accent, yes, ma'am, and no, sir. Basically, this was always a sign of respect. Uh, I know that a lot of people don't like it because of its history of where it began with that, yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. Um, Talking about slavery time. But after that, once um, once black people got on to a different playing field, they wanted to show the respect to each other, even if they weren't getting it elsewhere. So for our elders to walk around town or anything and have someone uh, younger pass by or say something, it was yes, ma'am, yes, sir, to give that respect to them as the elders. Um, there's a whole lot that goes with that, and I don't want to dive deep down into all of it, but basically, it ended up being just respecting our own. And I did pass that down, so
Well, I say this one should kick rocks. I think um like you said, it comes from a bad place. And in the South, both of us know that a lot of people don't leave that place mentally, it feels like. And having to go around saying yes ma'am and yes sir, it feels like they don't no one wants you to leave that place. They want you to mentally be in that subservient place. That's kind of what it feels like. It didn't bother me when I was there, but now that I'm older, especially now that I have a child of my own, I don't want him to go back to that tradition. I feel like you keep saying it's to show respect. It's to show respect. And I get that, but my son can show respect without yes ma'aming and yes sirring. You show respect in the way that you speak. You show respect in the inclination of your voice. You show respect in other ways. You shouldn't have to tag that on, And also,
I hear what you're saying. I don't know because I guess I grew up in it. When I hear um, my grandson tell somebody in the church, like Miss M, yeah, hey, how was so and so? Or I can't think of a question right now, and it comes out, yeah, it just it pings to me because I know from her standpoint that's not respect.
I get that. I get that. I I don't want him to have to do it. I really don't. And not only that, if he just
Well,
says,
maybe after he gets to a place where he can say yes.
but then correct him for that. And I do. If he goes like, yeah, or it's too short or something, I go, is that how you're supposed to speak to me? And he'll correct it. Yes, yes, mom, yeah. Like I said, it's the tone. So if you don't like his tone, correct his tone. But don't make him, add something on to someone's name, especially here where we live. That's not a normal thing. No one really does that here. None of the children, none of the adults. The older people, yeah, but none of the younger group. And I like that. And it even now when I come home and I have the yes ma'am and no ma'am y'all, when I come home, sometimes it still feels like I'm a child. I got a child of my own, but sometimes when I come home, it's like I'm back to being 10. Yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and you know, uh, it just feels like I'm back to being a child. It doesn't feel like I'm an adult. And I think that's a part of it because I still have to watch how I say things and if my words are too sharp even now, like you'll say like, is that how you're supposed to talk to me? Your face will. You've never used those words, but I see your expressions are so clear. Sometimes I so feel like a child, and I don't know, I just don't like it. And another
Okay.
thing is, it puts a barrier between adults and children, and that's such a dangerous thing because when you have such a thick barrier between adult and children's, and then you have an adult who's a sicko, they use that against children, and that was the main reason why I didn't start that with him, because I wanted him to know, you know, this adult is still a person. So if they do something, you let me know because they're still a person. You got children out there who don't know because I'm supposed to be subservient to adults, and then the adults are sicko and they do whatever to the child, and the child feels like, well, they're the adult, so it has to be right. And I didn't want my son to fall into anything like that. So that was the main reason I started it without doing the yes ma'am, no ma'am. And then when I came home and you guys were so upset about it, it kind of made me not like it even more. And maybe that's just me.
Yeah, that just sounds like rebellion,
That's-
and and uh, I understand that different areas it's different. Like I said, because we're in the South. Because I can remember, you going away for the summer to spend the summer with your dad, and then having to be told constantly, not to say that to them because they didn't want you to say that to them, which made a conflict between being there, being home, trying to remember. I'm here now. I got to do it this way. I'm there now. I got to do it that way. So um, I understand that part. It's just like I said, because all my life that's what it's been. Um, it just sounds so weird to have a child not do it.
I get that.
But I understand that one kick rock.
Take it.
Okay, so the next one is um, getting married in a church. I have not only heard people, say it, it's been a topic on a lot of like my favorite TV shows. Like when Mike and Molly was getting married, his mom was insisting that they had to have a church wedding. And other shows I've seen too, it was like the same thing. Um, so is that like a tradition that you would want to keep, or
Um, I'm gonna say I would also pick rocks with this one, and I have a reason. I remember, um, someone I know was getting married, and the church was so strict about the music that she played. I felt like the band player, and he was an amazing musician, like an actual musician, and wasn't even playing he wasn't playing a church song, but he wasn't even like nobody was singing the words or anything. He was just doing the musical part of a song that wasn't gospel, and they had a fit. And I don't know, that just put a bad taste in my mouth. You pay to use the place, and you don't even you're just using the music. Nobody was singing any, and it wasn't even a very secular song. Like, I understand if like "Thong da thong thong thong" was the song that they were playing, but that wasn't the song. It was just a musical rendition of a regular song. It just happened to not be gospel, and they made him cut it off immediately, like something terrible was happening. And that just put a really bad taste in my mouth because it's just music, and it wasn't done in a negative way or meaning. It didn't feel like it just didn't feel like the biggest deal for something like that. It just felt kind of rude. I didn't like it. So that kind of I'd rather be in a venue where I can choose everything about my special day to whatever music I play, to where I put things. I'd rather have a little more control than be under someone else's ruling.
I hear you. But I would say when you pick the venue, you should abide by that venue's rule. If you choose a place that says uh, there's no food on this side of the hall, you can only eat the food on that side of the hall, well, then you follow that rule. So if you chose a church as a venue, then you would follow that's considered a holy place, a holy sanctuary. So no, I wouldn't play any kind of other music besides something that is kind of considered a gospel song.
I get
To
that.
me, it's like, you know, you chose the venue,
I get
follow the
that.
rule,
Yeah. And that's why I said I would choose someplace.
right? But don't make it the church fault that somebody got a little upset because of the music. they chose a venue and then didn't follow the guidelines of that particular venue.
I get that.
So the next one is thank you and handwritten thank you notes, which are a tradition. And we definitely need to get back to it because people don't even say thank you anymore. I've given out several gifts recently and not even a thank you, a phone call or anything. I even sent somebody, and I know it's not much, but I sent somebody $25 on their birthday and said happy birthday. Still haven't heard from them. Their birthday was in March. So I don't think they planned on saying thank you. So they didn't appreciate it at all, I guess. I just don't understand it. But I like the fact of a handwritten thank you note. And one of my BFF and we do it all the time. She'll get mine in the mail and she's like, thank you. And I get hers in the mail. Like a handwritten, really appreciate you took the time, went out, got me a gift, or sent me money, or whatever you did. And I appreciate that.
I love this tradition. I do. And I remember you hammering into me to say thank you. And I will say thank you. I make sure I say thank you. Um, when Nathaniel has a birthday, I always go, "Oh, I gotta send thank you notes. I'll buy the thank you notes. I got like 2 or 3 boxes of thank you notes from 2 or 3 years that I've been meaning to write and send out. I just never find the time to actually write them. And this year, I convinced myself, well, maybe it's fine for me just to say thank you. Maybe that's enough. I make sure I say thank you. I make sure I text thank you. Maybe that's enough. And then we came for your birthday, and you sent me and Nathaniel personal thank you letters. And it was just so sweet. It just felt so good to get it. And Nathaniel got his own letter and he opened his up and he was excited about his and I'm excited about mine. Mine's hanging up on the wall right now. And I just went, gosh, I have got to do better with the thank you notes because they really do make you feel special. So this is a keep all the way. I'm terrible at it and I'm gonna get better because I love this tradition and I really hope to pass it on and keep this one going.
I tell you one little maybe helpful hint. Write out your list of who you have to send the thank you note to. And just when you're sitting down to watch your favorite YouTuber or um, podcast or whatever, basically you're listening. You're not really looking dead at their face all the time. Just go ahead and write your note.
That's a good idea. I'm really gonna have to try because this year I want to do better.
Okay, so the next one is New Year's Eve watch night service at church. Watchmen?
Oh,
Oh,
Watchmen.
Watchmen.
I love this tradition. I haven't been able to go. I think this is another one where I would keep this tradition as long as I'm home because no one else can do watch night service like our deacons can do it. I can still hear the voices in my ears. And sometimes when I ask people what time it is, I do just say, tell me the hour. And no one gets it but me, but I still giggle. So yeah, this is a keep, but this is a keep for home because no other church can do it like our church.
Awesome. Yeah, I do remember. It has changed a bit because, we've lost a few of the old ones, but yeah, I still love it. I really do. Okay, so next one is, and I think this was our thing that we did, and I don't know if you still do it. me and um, T still do it here, but that is celebrating the New Year's coming in with a toast in our champagne little glass with what do you call it? The drink
Sparkling
is
cider. Oh,
the
sparkling
sparkling
juice.
cider.
Yeah, the juice. This is a keep. You know I do this one because I send you a picture every year of Nathaniel with his little glass, like he's toasting. I think it's so cute. I really enjoy this one. It still makes you feel included even when you're a kid. I love this. Now, I don't have the special glasses, and I still remember we had a glass that we used every year. It had the numbers down the middle. I still look online to try to find those glasses or glasses similar to replace them. It's hard. I found some close ones, but it's really hard. But remember we had our special glasses that we only pulled out for the new year and we always toasted with them, and that is a great memory. That is a keep all the way.
Yay! I'm glad to hear that. I like that one.
Mhm.
Okay, so now this one I kind of mentioned before in one of our other videos, and I think this was just like I said, my family tradition. But Sundays was our ice cream day, and we did ice cream and watch Wild Kingdom. It was just something that we always did, and I don't know why we let it go, but we haven't done that in years. So I don't know if that would be something that you would keep a kick rock on.
I do remember us doing Sundays when you would buy like all the fixins for ice cream, and it would be the sprinkles and the special chocolates, and you get the two kind of chocolates, the one that gets hard and the one that doesn't, and cherries, and you just have everything for it. Now that tradition I would definitely keep. So I don't know what we would watch on TV, but even now sometimes I will just get like the stuff for a Sunday and we'll just build a, just for fun and just build it up. And I think you're the reason that I like sprinkles, but I like an excessive amount of sprinkles on my ice cream. Like when they do like the little bit of sprinkles, I'm like, no, no, pile it on. I need a sprinkle in every bite. Pretty sure you're the cause
Okie
of that.
dokie then. All right. And so the last one that I do have is another Saturday morning thing. Uh, on most Saturday mornings when we weren't just running out, uh, Saturday morning was chore cleanup day. Get up, have a list of who do what, and Saturdays is cleanup day. Now, see, my time tradition, we cleaned up every Saturday, and also we had to iron all of our clothes for the week for school that next week because you wasn't going to be getting up and having all these things to do in the morning time. So on that Saturday, you was going to iron 5 outfits for the week. That was on top of cleaning out. We used to do that after cartoon, and a lot of it was done while Soul Train was on because Soul Train was a Saturday thing. And yeah, and the older I got, you weren't going out on the Saturday evening to do anything with your friends unless the cleanup and the ironing was done.
This is another tradition that I remember. Um, I remember we would wake up, you would have the list of chores to do, and you would cook breakfast. And the whole time while doing chores, you could just smell the breakfast, but you know you wouldn't be allowed to eat until after. What type of torture tactic that was? And not just had to be done, you called it five-star hotel status. Remember? So not only did you have to do your chores, but we had to get the five-star approval from you before we could eat. But it worked, and the house was always clean. I I would love to do something like this, but to be honest, cleaning up has become when I feel like it, do something. As soon as I think, okay, that needs to be done, try to do it right then because that's when it'll get done. So it's not just like Saturdays. Sometimes during the week when I'm home from work, as soon as I get home from work, I see the floor needs sweeping. Okay, sweep all the floors and just get it done. So cleaning gets done in like little bits here and there. There's not a day set aside to just get everything done. And Saturdays, I do need to do something like that, but it just always happens in pieces. Saturdays I'll probably be more like a kitchen cleaning day, so I get that done, and then Monday and Tuesday I'll probably do this, and Wednesday and Thursday I'll work on that a little, but just little pieces. I don't have a full house cleaning like that. But I do like the tradition. I would keep it. I would try to keep it better. No promises, but I would try without the torture
Awesome.
tactics.
All right. Well, that was the last one that I had on the list. I was just going to ask, is there any other tradition that you remember that I didn't have on the list?
I can't think of anything that feels like a tradition. Not that I could think of. Um,
Okay. Well, this was fun to talk about the tradition. Hopefully, you out there have some traditions that you can throw down in the comments and let us enjoy what you um, did when you were growing up and still trying to pass on with your family. Either Generation X or the millennials. Go ahead and put that in the comments. Again, we appreciate you coming back with to Gen T, and we want you to come back again.
yeah, definitely in the comments, let us know what generation you are and whether you would keep it or kick rocks with whatever tradition that you want to tell us about. We'd love to hear about the different traditions. Like a lot of our traditions were just for our family, and they were fun. So we'd love to hear about yours. Make sure if you do leave a comment that is positive. We're all about the good vibes.
And remember, hit that like button.
Hit that subscribe button. Bye.
Bye.